Atlas in the hot seat tonight.
And Atlas.
Goes by the name of Atlas the Bookkeeper. How you feeling, my friend?
Let's head over and let's see how the documentary is doing, because quite frankly, this is the documentary, okay, on June the King's channel, and it covers a ridiculous amount of stuff. Like, look at this, all this stuff. The YouTube day, the early Street Fighter days, the early YouTube content, me blowing up. Here I am in the shower. I don't even know this. $200,000. 200,000. No, this is $20,000. I don't even know what that says. I guess we'll figure it out. Financial waste. Trolls make themselves known. All these things, all these topics. Currently, it's showing at 44,759. Oh, 45,367 views. But I don't think that's accurate because, like I said, when it was premiering, there were over 28,000 people watching live. So I think YouTube takes a while to catch up with the view system, okay? Now, for the record, yesterday I made a comment on this video, correct? And people were trying to say, I don't know where it is now, but people were trying to say that I deleted my comment because it had a bunch of negative replies. That's completely false. And I talked with June yesterday about this last night. After I got off stream, I wanted to get to the bottom of this. Remember, yesterday live on this stream, I left a comment, a positive comment on this video as it was a placeholder. And a lot of people, I guess there's like 80, 90 responses to it. And of course, guess who responded to it? My detractors. And they were all, just listen to this. My detractors are so unhinged. They left so many insanely insulting comments on the response to my comment. YouTube flagged the comment. So that's what happened. June says YouTube looked at the detractors' responses and auto-flagged my comment for bad behavior because of the responses. He had to manually approve the comment, and he had to pin it, so then it would actually show up on the video because YouTube blocked it because people were being so disgusting. Okay? I can confirm, yes, YouTube does this if you have the filters on. So June must have the filters on wisely. Why? Because when you're a documentarian, do you want people posting up comments on your video that's doxing and shit? Of course not. So you need to have filters on so that, you know, that kind of shit doesn't happen. And YouTube auto-filtered the detractors, which then blocked the entire comment in its entirety. So that's why it's back. It's funny because some people are saying, why did he change the thumbnail? I think what you mean, can I go back here? I think what you mean by that is if I search for June the King DSP, okay, you see this is perfect actually. You see two different thumbnails, right? This is the thumbnail that was on the video yesterday, and that's what we looked at together and I commented on. But then there's a second thumbnail that's there. So why? Because June made two thumbnails and he's using the new YouTube experiment. The new YouTube experiment is you can make multiple thumbnails for a video, put them up, and YouTube will have AI generate one or the other for you. And it tests the criteria to see how many people engage with the video when it was one or the other thumbnail. So YouTube will literally show you either this or this, and depending on how long you click and watch the video, it'll track those statistics, okay? And then it'll provide those statistics to the video uploader within like 4 or 5 days. You get the data, and then you can make the judgment, oh, well, this thumbnail did better, so I'll just keep that one on it forever. That's what it is. So he made multiple thumbnails, and it's jumping between them for us. So eventually, one thumbnail will actually hammer down and be the official thumbnail, but that's the YouTube at work, okay? I wonder, I'm curious, if you saw either of these thumbnails, if you saw the thumbnail with me and all these people behind me, some of which you probably recognize, right? Or if you saw the thumbnail with me and 4 other faces of me, one of which is bald, which is hilarious because I've never been bald, and a bunch of gin and what appears to be statements from my bankruptcy, perhaps, right? So which of these would you click on more actively? I wonder, which would you be more interested in, right? Chemo side Phil, I mean, that's kind of messed up. to be saying stuff like that. It looks more like, I look like Walter White. I do. That's the Walter White Phil. There you go. Heisenberg Phil on the top there. I just need the hat. I need my red fedora. I'll put it on. I'll look like Heisenberg. There you go. Bald Phil cannot hurt us. Oh my God. Stone Cold Side Phil. Yeah, I guess. You guys like the top one better? People are saying they like the top one better. See, here's the thing. The bottom one, I feel, is it catches the eye because it has so many people. And you're like, when you see that, you're like, oh my God, this is one hell of a documentary. There's all these people from all over the internet that Phil has been involved with over the 16 plus years. So this is going to be a doozy. And then you look at the runtime of 3 hours, 46 minutes and your jaw drops. You're like, holy shit. Yeah, this is a doozy. Right. But the top thumbnail is kind of more dramatic, right? Like the bottom thumbnail, you probably don't know who most of those people are. But the top thumbnail is like, ooh, booze and financial documents and, you know, the many faces of Phil. Sometimes he looks happy. Sometimes he's smug. Sometimes he's evil, right? So people in chat are completely disagreeing with each other, actually. Some people like the top thumbnail. Some people like the bottom thumbnail. I'm just happy he used the thumbnail where my hair is at a good angle and I don't look terrible. Seriously, like I look upset. Like the thumbnail makes me look upset, but it doesn't make me look terrible. So that's good. I think other people have had much worse thumbnails than me. So the top one is better. Baby Phil is crying. It's baby Huey Phil is crying over there. Very good. All right. Got a couple of shout outs and then we'll take a look at this thing. $6.90 tip. All bow before DSP, the King of Kings. Thank you very much for that tip. Another anonymous tipper. I appreciate that very much. And that would be the top tip. Except there's another tip to shout out. And that's the next tip. Is a $10 tip. And this is from Ricari. So let's go ahead and play the animation for Ricari, get them on the leaderboard, and see what they have to say. With Final Fantasy XVI coming out on PC, I don't know. I know it didn't work for your streams from what I remember. Would you recommend it to someone like me, an RPG fan who is just going to play it by myself? I've been waiting to play it. Long live the king. Well, here's the thing. Number one, all right, if you don't care about previous Final Fantasy games, there is absolutely nothing wrong with Final Fantasy 16. It's got some fun, awesome segments with big budget kind of, you know, kaiju monsters fighting and explosions and epic boss fights and things like that. But if you're a fan of Final Fantasy and you play Final Fantasy 16, you're going to literally be like, what the fuck did they do to Final Fantasy? Basically, the game is such a shell of what it was. It has almost no gameplay elements similar to previous Final Fantasies at all. It's an action game now with almost no major RPG elements, which is sad. It feels more like, basically what you do is you go into a fight. You fight the enemy, you charge up 1 meter, you use that meter to charge up the next ability, then you use the next ability, then you use the next ability, then you transform, then all your abilities have recharged. So you use the meter, then you use the ability, then you use the ability, and the fight's over. Every once in a while, you dodge. That's literally it. That's the game. I'm not kidding you. If you played Kingdom Hearts 3, you've already played the combat of Final Fantasy 16. It's almost identical. It's lame. It's just a boring game where the combat almost feels like an afterthought. And a lot of people have said, well, that's because of the way I played it. No. The game should not have a hidden way to play it to make it fun. If I can easily play through the game just like that with literally no thought, like I'm not even kidding you. I fought a boss and I wasn't looking at the screen. We tested it. I was fighting a boss and I was literally looking at chat, talking at chat. And I was saying, okay, now it'll be charged. And I use the ability. Now this will be charged. And I use the ability. Let me just dodge a couple times. Okay, now I'm going to do transform. And then I look back and I beat the boss. I won. And it's like, well, that's not me. I didn't make the game. They made the game like that, not me. You know what I'm saying? Now, story-wise, the game very much tries to copy Game of Thrones. It has adult themes. It has kingdom takeover, storylines. This person usurps this person, is double-crossing this person. If you like that kind of plot line, you'll like it. Okay? If you're not looking for that, you won't like it. Okay? Graphics were great. Like, I'm not going to crap on the graphics of Final Fantasy 16. They were pretty good on PS5. I'm sure they'll be even better on PC. And the music was good. So good music, good graphics, mass story, depending on if you like Game of Thrones, and really bad gameplay elements. If you're okay with all of that, then you'll like it. But do not go into Final Fantasy 16 expecting anything that's Final Fantasy-esque. It literally plays nothing like any other Final Fantasy game. They changed it into an action game, thinking this would be more mainstream, and it completely flopped. Like, the sales were awful compared to what they wanted or expected. They fucked it up. They have a core fan base of people who love Final Fantasy, and they insist on making games called Final Fantasy that don't play like Final Fantasy, and I don't know why. Why do you have such an aversion to what works and what people want? It's kind of like we were just talking about modern games, and why do people not like modern games? Because they keep making games people don't want. No one asked for Concord, no one asked for Dustborn, no one asked for Suicide Squad, but they make them anyway, and they put hundreds of millions of dollars into them, and then they whine when they fail. Well, why did you not listen to what people want? It's a pretty simple concept. This isn't like rocket science. It's called customer feedback. Like, what the fuck? I just don't understand it. Anyway, so there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. See here. I received $1 tips. This person says, I said it before, I'll say it again. Big ups to my pimps and shout out to the hoodlums. Pimpity pimp. Okay, thanks for the $1 tip. Amazing commentary. Okay. So here it is. By the way, so I distracted myself. So here it is, and it's incredibly long, 39 chapters. I'll start tonight. I'm excited for it. It's already got 40. Look, it's climbing like crazy. 48,000 views. I told June, I wish him the best, and I want June to get 1 million views on this video this week. I do. I hope he does. He deserves it. He puts the best kind of effort into his videos. And here's the other thing about June, all right? He's not going to try to milk this. And what do I mean by that? Like, look at other people who have made documentaries, and what they tried to do then was make a whole series of content after the fact based on it. Like Turkey Tom made a documentary about me. Then he asked me if I wanted an interview, and I said I would consider it. Come to find out, literally all he wanted to do was keep making a series of content to get me on LolCow Live. Like, that was the idea. Get me to be on LolCow Live so he could milk me for content. He literally publicly said this. Like, that was the plan. Make the documentary, fool me into an interview, trick me into LolCow Live, get an entire amount of content. All right, June isn't doing that. June worked his butt off to make this documentary. He's already on to the next several projects. He's already got one done. He's working on like 2 more. The man is a workhorse, and he busts his butt to make these documentaries. He's not here to now sit here and create a drama sphere around me. He's done his work on me, and he's on to the next. And that's respectable. You know what I'm saying? This is not, oh, I made a documentary about Phil. Now let's try to ruin Phil's life for the next year so I can keep making money. That's not who he is. That's why I respect the man. Okay? I know, weird that someone would make a documentary but then not try to completely destroy someone's fucking reputation in the process, right? I mean, it's odd, because most people don't do that. Most people these days, they crap on you, they stomp you into the dirt, then they pick you back up so they could slap you around, spit in your face, headbutt you, pull down their pants, piss in your mouth, and throw you out the window, but then they catch you on the way out so they can pull you back in, drop trowel, and dump on you. But that, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you get, like, that's how I feel about how these people have treated me, okay? Long live the king. Are you a coward? He says, you should skip the doc. It will not go well. No, really, are you a coward? In life, you face things head on. You don't run from them and cower from them and pretend like they don't exist, right? Like, I'm going to do this whole documentary react, have it done with, and move forward positively in my life. And the truth is, not everyone is going to like the answers that I have, and not everyone is going to like the fact that I can't show you all of my personal information to prove or disprove things. I don't care. Most people don't give a shit anyway. They're like, this is stupid. The shit that people are hating on you for, right? Like, fucking playing a mobile game, or, you know, even the bankruptcy shit is so dumb, because I've already gone over it 1 million times. in a very logical manner that makes sense to anyone who has a logical mind. But people don't want logic, they want drama. So they just keep thinking weird shit instead of the thing that what do they say in a case where there's a saying, and it's like, obviously, usually in most cases, it's the most logical thing that actually is the truth, not the crazy fringe insano thing. And whenever I try to present a logical case for something, no one wants to hear it, right? So that's the thing. It drives me nuts that if people would just think matter-of-factly and logically about things, they probably would have figured out everything by now, and it would have all made sense. But no one wants to do that. Everyone just wants to think, what's the most extreme, stupid thing? Phil's a heinous villain, a horrendous criminal, a terrible person, and a terrible husband, and a terrible blah, blah, blah. But that's not the truth. The truth is somewhere in the middle of everything that people say, but no one's been able to figure it out, and I can't talk about it because it puts everything in my life at personal risk. So I can't open up all my accounts and shit to show you, right? So some people will not give a fuck. Some people will give a fuck and hate me because I'm not going to say or do or prove innocence in certain cases. But for the most part, this last month has shown most people just won't give a fuck. They're here to have a good time. They're here to enjoy content. They know I haven't murdered anyone. I haven't groomed anyone. I haven't done horrendous, awful, illegal actions. I haven't fucking faked cancer. I haven't doxed. I haven't fucking scammed. I haven't done any of these awful things that other people have done. No fundraisers that I didn't give the money away, but I held on to it for years and years. You know, none of that shit. So at the end of the day, you can make a 4-hour documentary, but if it's a 4-hour documentary of a lot of lame, tame shit and things that were blown out of proportion that no one should really care about, then who cares? Why would I be afraid to react to the documentary? I just don't get it. Me doxing some guy is in the doc? Well, good. I look forward very much. I look forward to watching the documentary and finding that out. Because maybe at some point there was a fringe time in my 16 plus years as a YouTuber that I did dox someone, but it literally doesn't come to mind at all. At all. Because I would never do that actively unless maybe I did a million years ago and I don't remember it. But if it's some of the recent shit, like for example, a few years ago, where some person tried to set me up and they sent me a photoshopped version of their driver's license where it had all the information that was important blocked, okay? And then I said to my moderators in chat, did anyone else get anything like this? Because this is weird. I don't know why someone would send me a photoshopped license. It kind of seems like it's a weird trap. And then one of my moderators was a detractor sitting in there fooling everyone to thinking that they were, someone friendly. And then they took it and put it, you see, he doxed him. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm asking you if anyone sent you the info like this as an attempt at setting us up saying we're doxing people. And now you're saying I doxed someone. I didn't dox anyone. It basically, they bit right into it. Like that was the trap to begin with. That was what they were planning to do. But there was no doxing. I never went on the internet and showed everyone someone's license, right? I wouldn't even be able to because the license was already photoshopped to block information. So it doesn't make sense what you say. Again, it was all a stupid trap. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. It's just so stupid. The stuff that people have tried to say that I did over the years, right? It just makes no sense at all.